Good morning. Happy Friday. I am on Pacific time, so it's still morning for me. And I am out finishing up my walk for the morning. I've been loving my walks. There's one particular trail I seem to gravitate towards almost every morning, and I go just a little bit further every walk. It's really just an interesting thing, and it reminds me of how when you're setting out to do something new, if you're anything like me, you want to do it perfect the first time. And most of the time that's not possible. It just doesn't work that way. As much as people like me would like it to, it just doesn't work that way. And so when I came out here the first morning, it was like I went like this far. Why? Because I had never walked this path before. And I'm just doing a quick morning walk. I'm not doing like a big hike in the mornings. It's really just like to refresh and organize my thoughts and give me a chance to get outside, be in the fresh air, I drink a liter of water in the morning on my walk. So it's really not to be a hike. So anyway, so I walked like this far, and then the next day I'd walk this far, and then the next day this far. Today I made it the longest that I've made it into the woods, and I notice part of what that is that I'm getting more and more comfortable with the path. And so I wanted to bring that to you because I know how hard you're trying. I know that you have been doing this hard work and you're putting in the effort to this new way of doing things. You want better, and you want this thing to work so badly, and yet you're like, man, I've been putting in all this time, all this effort, and it still feels like such a struggle. It's like not coming together the way I want it to come together. And so I was just encouraged on my walk this morning to share this with you, because it's so true that when we're first getting started with making a change, when we're first getting started, like I'm 43, getting ready to be 44. So crazy, June is already here and I'm literally getting ready to be 44. That is taking me a minute to process. Side note. But I'm out on this walk this morning and I'm like, oh, this is exactly what it's like when we're doing new things, when we're taking on new adventures, new ways of showing up in our relationship, or new ways of engaging with work-life balance, or new ways in putting boundaries in place with relationships, with work, with the way that we take care of ourselves. We want to show up and it just be like how it should be the first time. And yet the reality is that doesn't happen. It's not a normal thing. But it is part of how our brains perceive how it should be. We feel like we're making a decision and we're going to now start doing this, like me. I'm going to start taking this walk every morning. The reality is that I'm in a brand new location. And even though I've walked most mornings for the last several years, I'm in a brand new location where I don't know my surroundings. It's a different temperature outside. I'm in a different time zone. Like there's all these factors that make it totally new, even though I've walked every morning for the last several years. And so it's important, especially if you're that perfectionistic, high performer, achiever driven person, but true for everyone, to remember when you're starting out with a new way of showing up, with a new way of doing a thing, to start small and give yourself lots of space and lots of compassion for being able to just get started. Because just making the decision to do the new thing is reason to celebrate. Literally, it is reason to celebrate. Just showing up to do this new thing, no matter how small it is, like taking a walk in the morning, it is reason to celebrate. It's a win in your life for you showing up for yourself, for you following through on what it is that you know that's good for you, that you want in your life. So practice, train your mind to celebrate those wins. And you will see yourself go farther the next day and farther the next day and even farther in a week, a month, a year. You'll get there just like that. And one day you'll wake up and be like, oh, just like that, I'm there. All right, you guys, as always, go do that thing you most want to be doing, and I'll talk to you soon.